Assalamu alaikum students. Now before starting with the practice set 1.3, here very important part of this chapter I am going to explain you now. So you have to be attentive, you have to concentrate here. See, it is very important part. In the first lecture or the first video of this chapter, I have explained you some basic concepts of geometry. In that, I have explained you about the collinear point, collinear, non-collinear, coplanar, non-coplanar, and more. So all these concepts which I have already explained you, these concepts are known as postulates. Postulates means the term which already we have taken as true. That means geometrically we are taken that it is true. That means whenever the points are on the same line, it is called collinear. When they are not on the same line, it is called non-collinear. When the points are on the same plane, then it is coplanar. And when all the points are not on the same plane, then it is non-coplanar. So we are taking some statement. So the statement which we are taking geometrically true, we are not proving it. We are taking it, we are assuming it, we are taken the assumption. So all these assumption which we have taken true as a geometrically, it is called postulates. And based on this postulate, with the help of these postulates, many of the properties are proved of the geometry, and whenever these properties are proved logically, whenever the properties are proved logically, this is called the theorem. So here very important term, theorem. So we will see how the theorem, what is the theorem, what is the method of writing the theorem, how to complete it. So all the terms related to the theorem today we will see. So here, first of all, the statement of the theorem. So here, statement of the theorem is always, or most of the time, not always, we can say most of the time, is written in the conditional form. Most of the time, the statement of the theorem can be written in conditional form. Now, what is the conditional form? First of all, we will see. Conditional form means the statement is written in if and then type. The word if will be there, then one statement will be there, then the word then will be there, and after then again one word will be there. So if the statement of the theorem is written in this form, it is called conditional form. Conditional statement or the conditional form of statement, we can say. I will give you one example so it will be clear to you what is the conditional statement or the conditional form. You can say it is conditional statement also. Both are one and the same thing. Okay, so now I will give you one example. So here I have taken one of a statement that if you will work hard, here if you will work hard, then you can score good marks. I have taken a simple statement. So here the word if is there, between if and then. After if one statement is there, this statement, and then the word then is there, and after then the another statement is here, this one. So this is the second statement. So here the two statements are there which are combined with the two words, that is if and then. So if the statement is having if and then, it is called the conditional statement. Okay. So the statement which following if, or we can say the statement which is between if and then. See here, if the statement which is between if and then, that is you will work hard, is called the antecedent. It is called antecedent. And in simple way, it is given us as a given statement. We will take it as a given statement. So the statement which is between if and then, is called antecedent, and we are taking as it is given to us. Now what is given, that I will explain you afterwards. So you have to remember till here, that is it is given. And now we'll talk about the statement which is after then. So the statement which is after then is called the consequent. And in simple way we are remembering the statement is given which will going to prove. So the statement which will going to prove is called the consequent. Now what is given and to prove? See here, the statement is if you will work hard. That means it is the condition. This condition, if you will fulfill, if you will work hard, then only you will get the result that you can score the good marks. If you will not work hard, then the good marks you can't score. So the second statement is based on the first statement. If the first statement will be fulfilled, then only we will get the second statement. So most of the time the statement of the theorem can be written in conditional form. Conditional form means in if and then type. I have given you one example, day-to-day life example. So the statement which is between if and then, that means this statement is known as antecedent, and in simple way we can remember it that it is given to us. Okay, then we will talk about the statement after then. The statement after then is called consequent, and we are remembering it that the statement we have to prove. I have taken here one geometrical statement. So here the statement I have taken, if a quadrilateral is a rectangle, then its diagonal are congruent. So again the two statements are there. The first statement, this statement is between if and then. This statement is between if and then. So I have explained you the statement which is between if and then is called as antecedent. Antecedent. And the statement which is after then, that is following then, this statement is called consequent. Or in simple way, the first statement is called given and this consequent is called to prove. So this will be given and this will be to prove. That means this condition is given to us that the quadrilateral is rectangle. So we know that which figure is given here, rectangle, and we have to prove that its diagonals are congruent. So in this way this statement is a conditional statement, and most of the time the statement of a theorem is given in this type only. Now we will see the steps of writing the theorem. Now we will see, it is very important, you have to remember it, because in 10th standard also you are going to use it every time. The theorem will be there in geometry chapter, or in geometry subject theorem is very important as point of the board exam also. Now the first step of writing the theorem is of writing the statement. That means the statement which will be given to us in the question paper, or the statement which will going to prove. That statement we have to copy. So this is nothing but the first step of writing the theorem. So after the writing the statement, we have to read the statement carefully, and we have to gather the information which will help us to draw the figure. So we will find the statement which will help us to draw the figure. So second step, we will draw the figure. After drawing the figure, whatever we are taking in the figure, for example if I am taking in a figure that is a rectangle, so what is the name of the rectangle? For example if I am taking quadrilateral ABCD is a rectangle, then whatever we are taking in the figures, the description of the figure we have to write in statement form, and that statement is called given, or the statement which I have already explained you, that is antecedent and the consequent. So what is the statement which is given for antecedent is also a given. For example here, same statement if I am taking a quadrilateral is a rectangle. So the first statement we will use as a given. That means we will draw a rectangle, and whatever we are taking in a rectangle, for example if I am taking here one of the rectangle, see this way. If I am taking this A, B, C, D is a rectangle. First of all, this ABCD is having the 4 point and the 4 sides, so it is a quadrilateral. So we can write this is the symbol of quadrilateral. The name is given ABCD, so we can write quadrilateral ABCD is a rectangle. So this statement is nothing but based on the figure only. Whatever figure we are taking, the description of this figure only I am writing in the statement. So this statement is called given. So this is the step of writing the given. So like that we can complete the step, that is given. So third step is given. After given, we will write the next step, that is step 4, that is to prove. I think you have heard this to prove also. I have explained you the second statement, then its diagonals are congruent. So the consequent, the second statement, that is statement after then, is called to prove. That means we have to prove that these diagonals are congruent. Diagonal. Now you can say me what is the diagonal. Diagonal means the segment which are joining the opposite point. So if I am joining A and C, so it is called diagonal AC. So here diagonal AC. Now if I will join B to D, again this is also diagonal. So the other side is also a diagonal, so we can write diagonal BD. So two diagonal I have taken, and we have to prove that the diagonals are congruent. That means we have to prove both the diagonals are congruent. So whenever the statement we are converting like this symbol, so this step is called to prove. This step is called to prove. It is called consequent, and to remember it and as a step of this theorem we have to write as a to prove. So how to prove it, that we will not do. Only I am explaining you what is to prove. The second statement, that is consequent, is called to prove, or with the help of this statement whatever the equation we are writing, it is called the to prove. So like that our fourth step is to prove. Now the fifth step is construction. Now this construction step is conditional. Conditional means it is not important that in each of the theorem it will be there. Wherever necessary, there in that theorem only the construction is there. And what is the construction? Construction means extra construction part which is not given in the statement of the theorem, but we are taking, which will help us to prove the statement, is called the construction. Construction means extra construction part which we are doing with our own, which is not given in the statement. So it is called the construction. And remember, this construction will not be in each of the theorem. In some theorem it will be there, in some theorem it will not be there. Wherever necessary, in that theorem only we will take. And the last and very important step of writing the theorem is proof. Proof is nothing but the step or the properties which we are giving to prove the second statement, that is consequent. So what are the property we are using to prove the second statement, that is consequent? All these steps we are writing in the last part of the step of the theorem, that is proof. Proof is very important, therefore it is called the body of the theorem. More marks will be there on the proof. So these are the steps of writing the theorem, so you have to remember it. Again we will see total 6 steps are there of writing theorem. First one is statement. Statement means the statement which is given to you. For example, this statement is given to you in the paper. So same statement you will copy. It will complete your first step. Then the figure. Figure means we will read the statement carefully. A quadrilateral is a rectangle. So we have got that. Which figure we have to take? Rectangle. So I have taken here rectangle. So for drawing the figure is nothing but the second step. Then given. Given I have explained you the statement which is between if and then. That means this statement is antecedent and it is also called given. So a quadrilateral is a rectangle. So I have taken a rectangle, and whatever step we are taking, that is the description of the theorem, is called given. That means we can write this quadrilateral ABCD is a rectangle. So this will be complete our given step. Then the fourth step will be to prove. To prove is nothing but again consequent, the statement after then is called to prove. So here it is given the diagonals are congruent. So we have taken one diagonal as AC and other diagonal as BD. So we have to prove that diagonal AC and diagonal BD. Whenever the statement we are changing or we are converting in the symbolic form or the equation form, it is called to prove. So like that our to prove step will complete, and then the fifth step is construction, and this step is conditional. Conditional means in all the theorem it is not necessary that the construction will be there. Wherever necessary we will take the construction step, otherwise not. And the last and very important is our proof. Proof means we are using the property or the terms or the postulates which will help us to prove the second statement, that is to prove. So like that our 6 steps are there of theorem. Hope you have understood it. You have to learn it, you have to copy it very carefully.